meeting to folks from your team, you can do as well. I ask that if you can, please mute your phones during the presentation. We reserve questions for the end. And you address those questions to either myself, Bob, or David. So, Bob, things over to you.
Okay, thanks very much, Nick, and welcome everyone. RS is always pleased to participate in the webinars that 4Clicks has been putting on nearly every month. 7 years ago, I got with the president of 4Clicks, Mike Brown, and we established a partnering relationship that we're interested in the use of the 4Clicks product in our business market, and we've had a solid and strong working relationship as we go forward to provide not software and data services, but also services in the consulting and business, particularly with support for owners setting up their programs. And this relationship, Mike and his team have done very interesting things that means is fully supportive to the JOC database being directly attuned to the activities of JOC. There's been some changes to the structural format of the data, and you'll see that with the presentation that Nick gives a little bit later. The data is the same. There's no places, changes or anything. All the fine items is just how it's presented makes the not appearance, but the process in which you put it together. It's going to be validated than you might have it in other formats. Working with 4Clicks has been, it's really add value for RSMeans in our moving forward in this market, and we continue to work 4Clicks on multiple activities and multiple clients. So I will take the baton and pass it forward to David Snedeker, who will talk about the e-takeoffs, or electronic takeoffs portion of the software program. David?
Welcome. This is David with e-takeoff. We do the kind of the visual takeoff on electronic drawings. The thing about all of this is that you can do things like you see on the screen without paper. There are a number of tools in the program that make it significantly easier to get your work done. One of them that is, is pattern search. Search we'll talk about here towards the end. I'll show you how it works. It allows you to have the program search for patterns on it and find them for you, so you don't search around. So if you're doing things like electromechanical, where you have to find, labels like outlets and fixtures and so on and so forth, that makes it a lot easier. When you're doing your takeoff, you each on top of the drawings, just like you probably would do on paper. After a whole bunch of information while you're doing that tracing, color the drawing at the same time. You don't have to write things down. You don't have to, back and color the drawing yourself. And like I said, colors show up automatically when you're doing your measuring. And there's, just a million colors you can use to differentiate all your different pieces and parts. Then we can do we can total and combine those measurements, put them together, perform formulas on them if you need to. And then those quantities can be transferred directly into the E4 project estimator. We can talk about a couple different features. We're not going to go through everything, but we're going to talk about a couple different features so you can get an idea how this works. One is extensions. Extensions extend to measurements. Basically, you take a two-dimensional measurement on a drawing, like a length of a wall square feet, and you need to extend that to other quantities. For the wall, you might need to extend that and put the wall height in and get square foot of the wall surface. Or square feet, maybe you measure square feet of concrete, but you need cubic yards, so you'd enter depth. So the extension allows you to do that and get more calculations than just the straight lineal or square foot measurements. Quantity worksheet is where we pull together all the different pieces and parts of your measurement on the drawing, pull apart assemblies, build assemblies, total everything up, and get it ready to go. And then, of course, the pattern search we talked about is kind of an auto-counting feature, excuse me, where you can draw a box around a little symbol, and it'll find that symbol for you and get some results. So let's go ahead and do a quick demonstration here, and we will see how a little bit of this works. And so now I'm going to share my screen. Here we go. And you should see my screen. Take off. Okay, so pretty basic layout. We've got some simple toolbars up here to do all sorts of different things. The main thing is you grab a set of drawings, you put them into eTakeoff. That gets saved as a project, so you get a project here, and all your drawings are here. There's a little tiny project that I use for demonstrations. But if you want to take a basic measurement, you could use just a simple area, for example. So I could double-click here, just an area measurement. All I have to do is point and click, and I go around here. Oops, I messed up. So backspace, backspace. So I can fix things pretty easy and keep measuring. And when I'm done, at that area, it's colored. When I click on it, I see the parameters that I have for that. I've got the area, square feet. We also keep track of the perimeter lineal feet for you, so you don't have to worry about it. If you're doing flooring, you already get the perimeter, so you don't have to do another measurement. Okay. Simple lengths, same thing. I just point and click, and I get the length of whatever I'm measuring. It's colored, and I'm done. So pretty simple. Now let's talk about some of those extended measurements, okay, those extensions. I'm going to delete these. And then I'm going to go use a 4 wall. Okay, so I'm going to double click here, measure this 2x4 wall, but other parameters. Okay, so let's go measure the wall again, same wall. I'll measure it, lose track of that, but now I can go say, okay, the wall height, let's say a 12-foot high wall, and instead of spacing is 16 inches on center, I want to put drywall on both sides of that wall, and I want to use drywall sheets that are 4x8. And the results I get all the track, stuff, drywall, and how many sheets it is. Feet. So a lot of great information can come out of one of these extensions. Extension is all customizable. The user can build any kind of extension they want to get any kind of information they want out of the system. All right, so that's kind of how an extension works, okay? And then all these quantities can then be transferred over into your 4Clicks product. About the assemblies and the worksheet and the quantity worksheet, what we call it. This is a representation of my quantity worksheet that I built previously. It looks like this. So I'm in the flooring section. So here's flooring, and here's all the items I can measure, and the carpet items. I already defined the color. Everything's ready to go, and then I choose over here what I want to measure. So I predefined this template. I saved it, and I brought it into this project, like standard template, like you would Excel or anything else, or standards database, for example. I'm going to go ahead and measure carpet, okay? And I'm going to double-click here, and I measure, and enter this same room that we did a minute ago. I have extension data here because what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the perimeter and subtract how many doors there are. So there's one door, and use rubber base in that room. So what it did was it took the perimeter and subtracted that door 3 feet and gave me that. Now I continue that over and over again. So let's do another one here, and let's measure, let's say, the same kind of carpets in this room. And I can do the same thing. There's one door. I'm going to use rubber base, so on and so forth. Now, that's great. So at this point, we think we have square feet and we have a base potentially. So let's go to our worksheet and see our assembly that not the square feet, but it totaled both of those measurements, rounded it up to the nearest 10 square feet. It calculated gallons of adhesive based on a formula, and it popped in the rubber base total length of both of those measurements. And these can be extensive. You can do all sorts of stuff with these and build as many different assemblies as you want in here. So it's kind of a look at the assembly functionality. There's simply formula-based stuff that you build an item and put a formula in it and point to a measurement. And you take quantities out of the measurement itself. Do things, everything's saved automatically. So if I close the program right now, it'll all be saved. Come back tomorrow, and it would open up right to the same project and all my saved information. Now let's go look at pattern search real quick, and then I'll pass this on to Nick. So I'll change projects. I'm going to go to a project that has some figures and whatever on it, right? So very dense drawing, lots of stuff going on here. So it's fairly difficult, even if you had an electronic program like this, to find and count all your little symbols, because you're going to have to find it and then count it and make sure it's the right one, and so on and so forth. So what I'm going to do is show you how pattern search works. I'm going to zoom in on this smoke alarm here, this fire smoke detector, and then I'm going to tell the program I want to take a pattern search. And I just click the button, drag to get a little hint window, of course. It tells you what to do. If you don't want hint windows, you can uncheck them once you've learned the program. And I click, hold, and drag right around that symbol. It gives a preview window here of what it's searching for. And then I have some parameters to set. And those parameters are review minimum. What it's going to do is it's going to search for this and give me a list to review to determine which ones are the right ones. What it's saying here says 80% minimum. What that is, this item is my 100%. I want the program to only show me anything on this drawing that matches this at 80% or greater. Higher the percentage, like 90, I'll get fewer results. Lower, like 50%, I'll get more results. So I think the 80 is good. I've done this a million times, so I know 80 is good on this drawing. It's a very high-quality drawing, so we should find the stuff we need. And I search rotations. I can exclude any previous counts, and when I go to click search, it'll go off and search the drawing. Preview window. Here's the results it found. If you want to review yourself, you can double-click on each one of them, and it'll take you right to it. And you can room individually. You could do a function where you can expand the search area here with the review window to see if there's anything outside of this that we need to look for. And I'll show you how that works. I'm just click and hold and drag that out. And we keep track of all the area around each search, so you could expand that out and see what's around it, like this. This auxiliary contact, this is a heat, and so I've got my smoke alarms, my smoke detectors ready to go, and I can simply count them by in my worksheet item. I'm going to count smoke detectors, and I'm going to come over here and go, okay, I'm going to save and continue, and it's going to save those smokes to smoke detector, mark them on the drawing, and leave the auxiliary and the heat for me to count next. So they're marked. Now I'm going to do my auxiliary. I say, okay, there's my auxiliary. Go ahead and save and continue, and my heat, and I'm going to do heat, and save, and I'm done. Now, everything's marked up on my drawing, and if I my worksheet, and into here, and we go boom, and we see, okay, we got that one heat detector, and our assembly says for every heat detector I need one base and 4 screws. Smoke detector, we 17, I need 1 base for each and 4 screws for each, and your assemblies work, and there you go. So it makes it really easy to do a lot of counts on a drawing like this very quickly. Okay, thank you. I hope that was beneficial for you. It's a great product. It integrates right with 4 clicks, and I'm done, and I'll pass it right on over to Nick.
Thank you very much, David. I'm going to give you a look at sort of how to bring RSMeans and eTakeoff all together. Before I begin, I'll tell you a little bit about 4-click solutions for those of you that are unfamiliar with us. We wrote it in about 2001. Our experience with facility renovation, repair, and construction includes serving as cost estimators, engineers, and project managers. Now that's kind of how we arrived at our tagline, by estimators for estimators. So up on the screen, 4 clicks, experience serving over 85% of U.S. Air Force bases. Now we also serve numerous areas such as Army, Navy, and non-DoD government agencies such as CSA and VA. Now, through RSMeans, our strategic business partner, our technology is leveraged in job programs in education, state and local government, and airports. So contractors are typically onto our product because it allows users to organize, standardize, and create electronically. There create templates that auto-populate with project data. Run all of your contracts from a single application. If you're working on JOCs, IIQs, Sabres, MATOC, DATOC, run all of your programs within our application. You can also link your specifications to our line item estimates. Into this, we also provide the best representation of RSMeans cost data in the industry. This is complete with 400,000 detailed line items. I'll show you exactly what this enhancement does in our program in just a few minutes. So what I would best show you how Project Estimator works is bring it for you live and create a simple project. Before I begin, though, I have to note that contractors can work harmoniously within a program. So if you're taking a project that has multiple disciplines, for example, concrete structural finishes and flooring, you have your entire team working together within our software. Is that we provide the ability to easily copy, paste, and update line item estimates. So there's a need for contractors working on similar projects to reproduce the same estimate over and over again. For you is create a simple project. I'm going to the screen and hit insert. A standard Sabre project with 0 hours. In this screen is our update project window. You'll see the required 2 fields, your project number and your description. RFP, I'll write in that RFP number, perhaps for my project number. For this, I'm just going to keep it simple and write 2013 Sabre. I can write anything that makes sense to me. If I'm doing a conference room, I'll type in the dimensions to renovate the conference room. Neat about our software is you can store a variety of information. So you can store your contacts, your work order number, etc., attach any sort of notes to this project, and load on this screen. You can also see your totaling components. Now, what I'll do for you before I start building an estimate is just show you how we can track our document management and our project milestones. For respect to project milestones, you can track general information about your project, including the square feet, track information relative to date of completion, specifications, preparation, etc. You can track the status of your proposal, data awards, and relative to your site visits, and general notes tab. With respect to document management, your products store a series of templates that will populate and just provide you with an area to store your information of a particular project. So you can have listed as templates right now, such as my request for information, my statements of work, proposal, cover sheets, etc. Interviews get into the estimate. So here is where we can begin producing our estimate. Right now, the standard that I have set in default is to create an estimate that has the name of my project description as its title. However, in this field, you can create information relative to, you can type things like concrete, structural finishes, flooring, etc. I'm just going to open it up, this estimate, to keep things simple. Time screen, you can see the quick select guide. That's where your RSMeans data is going to be located. But before the RSMeans data, I'll just let you know that we have something in our software called an alternate guide. I'll open that up real quick. An alternate guide can be most easily regarded as a list of custom items that you have inputted as you belong within our software, or we have imported for you. For instance, if you have 10 custom line items that you routinely use in a project that are not RSMeans line items, create those and refer to them in the future. We have over 1,000 custom line items, for instance. We can import that information for you so it's better prepared to administer your contracts. Now, for example, I'm just going to open up my RSMeans facilities guide. Now, for our product is built by estimators for estimators. Now, a good I'd like to tell you what that is all about is that we provide a variety of ways to search for line items. Now, this is really key to producing accurate RSMeans items. For instance, for those of you who have never used an RSMeans software package before, some users would like to come to our guide index. Now, the index allows us to search for keywords. So if I'm looking for a dumpster, I can just type into this field, dumpster, now that item in my guide, look at drawing, determine if I need a 10 cubic yard dumpster. If I can double click or click enter on that item, quantity. From the screen, we include a full line description in the top hand corner, as well as a number. You'll see the material, labor, and equipment totals, the cost, etc. You can variety of information within our software. Next item, roll my guide. If I come to loading and hauling and it makes sense for my project, I can click on that. I'm going to fill my dumpster. Submitter. Another way to look for line items is to use something called the Guide Navigator. Now, this allows you to drill down pretty specifically by divisions to search for what you're looking for. So, I'm currently looking for maintenance of finishes to do a demo for carpet. I go down and find my carpet maintenance and snap in my guide. Now, through, I can come to my carpet maintenance, and I can tag that line item just by using the space bar. Now, tagging this, I'm going to show you how we can tag multiple line items, import them into our estimate at one time. Tag that item. I'm going to tag my item for low vinyl base and corner. Roll back to my index. I'm looking for some new code base. Now, means currently code base listed as rubber base. Now, as a contractor, if I'm not used to referring to vinyl base as rubber base, I actually create custom searches within my index. So I can rename this rubber base as vinyl base so I can refer to it easier in the future. Tag my code base corners. That. My index, I search for my new carpeting, and I'm just going to type in nylon carpet. What I want to show you is that within our database, a full set of files located directly below your parent line item. Here you'll see that I have my 26-ounce nylon carpet checked. I also have modifiers for additional costs, such as in a roll, approximately 1,500 square feet to add. Now this line item, or modifier, exists. You can't go to Home Depot, Lowe's, or a carpet manufacturer and purchase a full roll of carpet for the same price I can, less than a full roll. So I'm going to use that modifier. Tag my borders and patterns and brand-specific fiber. Now, back to my index, I can search for a variety of using an RSMeans index. What you can also do is search our items using keywords. So looking, for example, for final cleaning. Final cleaning. And you're going to see that project estimators will search for line items that either have the word final and or cleaning in them. You can snap in the guide easily, like I did. So I'm going to tag this line item. You'll note I've tagged a whole mess of line items, about 7 or 8. Import any type of quantities. Now to quantify these line items, I'm going to do something pretty neat, and I'm going to hit Control-P. Now start filling in quantities. So each of my code-based corners, I can hit 4 and just process. Now my square feet, I can fit in just like I would in Microsoft Excel. I'm going to do 20 by 20 and process. Last, linear feet, again Microsoft Excel, 20 plus 20 plus 20 plus 20. Process. Now, you can see I have my somewhat complete estimate. Can we report on an RSMeans estimate? We can tag estimate, start to reports, and print it. You'll know a variety of ways to export. I can go to Adobe PDF or Excel based on the specifications that I include in my estimate. For this example, I'll just go to Adobe PDF. Let me open it up for you. And now see what RSMeans Eclipse report looks like. So what I've listed are divisions and associated totals. My ML&E total. That's the I'm using. If I'm using a city cost index, that's included in this list as well. Scroll through. You can see total and components as well as my RSMeans city cost index. For you that don't know what a CCI is, those are the 925, I believe it is, locations that RSMeans strategically researches to provide things like material, labor, and equipment totals. What we're looking at right now is a breakdown of the line items that I have included in my estimate. See that I have a full line item description located next to that item, takeoff I'm using, and so units measure, the crew RSMeans has determined fits the work that I'm doing, material, labor, equipment totals, etc. Scrolling through, you can see activity summary, equipment. That's about it for what I printed in my guide. Great. What I'm going to show you now is how I can easily copy, paste, and update an estimate. So if I determine that I'm not doing a 20 by 20 conference room, but the information in these line items make sense for my next project, I can just copy and paste them with C and Control. I name my estimate. In this field, you'll note that I can zero out my totals. Great. So this estimate now has a zeroed out total. So I'm going to open that and re-quantify. Only this time, I'm going to use eTakeoff to quantify my line items. Why I'm going to do that? I'm going to search for all my line items that have square feet. I'm going to all. I'm going to come modify. I'm going to take off this program, and I'll bring it over to my window. As I did, I'm going to select what project I'm working on, bring up my drawing. Now do a simple area tool just to grab square feet. I'm going to start grab corners, drill specifically. You can see the totals on the left-hand screen. As accurate or precise as I could right now. I'm trying to demonstrate how this would work. So I'm going to copy this area, do something called return estimate with quantity. Quantities. I'm going to insert my area. and I'm just going to process, and you can see that those values will be modified. Apply, and now my totals. And I can do the same thing for my linear feet. I can test both. I can go to modify. I don't have to go back into eTakeoff because I grab my miscellaneous area, and I can get total length parameter. Go back to my estimate, and then I'm going to have my code base. So 2 items, my and just how many final that I have loaded in eTakeoff. So something real simple, but as David showed you earlier, you can get as advanced as you want within eTakeoff. Now, the slots that I did quantify using my visual takeoff tool do have an E next to them, and you can actually right-click and drill down to see how you quantified those if you want to. Hope I'm able to show you just a little bit about the speed and accuracy of Product Estimator. Now I'll open the floor for any sort of questions that I can answer. If for any reason that I can't answer your question, I'll write those down and get back to you real recently. We have Eric and Larry on the line. Do folks have any questions for us?
That's
perfect. Just so you know, as I said earlier, I did record this, and as soon as it concludes, I will send out those emails to everybody that joined us today. You'll be able to review it, present it to your team. Feel free to contact us. You can see our information loaded up on the PowerPoint right now. Contact either one of us, and we will get to you as soon as possible.
terrific. Appreciate it.
All right, thanks. Well, thank you guys very much for joining us. Hey, guys. David.
Thank you, Eric. Thanks.
Thanks. Appreciate it.